Simple video. We're going to call it JBWELD is your friend. I'll give you an example. This is CYMA CM121. Has a pot metal upper, but the rest of the frame is polymer. Alright, including this little bracket right here that holds the barrel in place. What happened yesterday, I was showing the gun on how I did the LiPo upgrade on it, and I took it and it fell forward onto concrete and hit here right on the tip and broke this bracket loose. Okay, and it also cracked this frame underneath here. Okay, so what I've done is JBWelded. I got a piece of this barrel shroud that I happen to have. It's like 3/4 of the way circle. Cut a small piece, put it on the barrel here, and JBWelded inside here to this. That'll hold that. It's made this like concrete. That's fine. The crack, what I do on any JB weld is I prep the surface on both sides. I wipe it down with alcohol. Then the crack, I hollow ground it with my Dremel tool. Then I roughed up the surface where this is going to go, and I did the same on this piece of rail that was originally on here. Now, inside was this metal chunk inside this CM121, which is for the battery and to hold it, and it gives the gun a little front heavy weight. But I took that out because I had to get it to crack, and once I did that, I wasn't able to put it back in. Put the JBWeld all on the metal rail on the bottom here, and I pushed it on. Now, to make sure it's on there straight, I just took the bolts and the two Allen bolts and pushed them through the holes here, which go right through into the gun on this side. That locked it in place. Then I just took a pair of C-clamps and clamped this down, let it sit overnight. The rail is on there like concrete. This front piece is now hard as a rock, and if you look at it, goes together solid as a rock. Okay, I'm using this with 11.1, but it'll fit a 7.4 without an issue, but it also will fit this little 11.1 that I happen to have. And get the damn thing plugged in. If you could hear the really quick. Goes in like so. Well, I think I can put it in this way, same difference. Get it lined up, and I apologize for the washer running in the background, but you know, this is real life. I got to do clothes once in a while. Put it in. The hardest thing is getting the barrel lined up, and it's clicked on there and it works. Solid as a rock, barrel straight, and works like a champ. JBWeld, if you use it on a regular basis on any particular product, polymer to polymer, usually like I'll use an example, my Mac 10 is a polymer body, and I put a polymer rail on there. Same prep type, you alcohol both pieces that are going to be put together, and then I did a little hollow grind scratching on both of the polymer surfaces so they're rough. And I push the rail on. What works on the polymer rail like this, when you push it on a particular piece, the JBWeld will come up through the hole, and what I do is I smooth it off inside there so it makes like a little post which holds it fast. I have battery boxes and everything on the polymer to polymer rails, and it works like a champ. One of my best things that I have done, I have an MP44 or an AGM STG44, and I found a side rail mount for it, a replica one, and a side bracket and a mount itself, and I found a replica scope. Well, they're kind of heavy, and the mount I found is for a real firearm, real steel firearm. Has two pins that you drill in and tap into the metal receiver, put into the metal receiver, and then put this other piece on, it'll hammer on. Well, the problem being that the AGM, if people know, the AGM is pot metal, real easy to crack and break. So what I did is I made these pinholes just the same size as the pin, so they go in there a little bit. You got to put a little bit of pressure on them. I did tap them out or drill them out, but what I did is I prepped the surface like I normally do. I wiped it down with alcohol, both pieces. I scarfed it up a little bit with some sandpaper and the Dremel, but I put a little JB Weld on the holes, put the pins in, tapped them in until they were flush, had the gun apart, tapped them in, they were flush, let them sit. When they hardened up, I then JB Weld the whole piece, the rail itself that I was going to put on there, pushed it on, clamped it in place, smoothed off the various stuff was hanging out the sides, and let it harden up. I'm holding that side scope mount, the scope, in any degree weather. I've used it on the field. It works flawlessly. It's only a 2-power scope. It's made to be like a replica scope for that particular gun, but it's solid as a rock, and that is metal to metal using JB Weld and pins. I find that if you use any kind of JB Weld, you can just about put any surface together if you put some kind of pin into it. I've done that with my rat gun, various other things, that if I put even just a small little post, it doesn't have to be screwed fast or whatever, but a way to put a post in there to give it something to hold to, the JB Weld will work phenomenal on anything. So this is the 2-part epoxy versions of the JB Weld. And I should have had this here before I started talking, but I want to show them just so you guys know. It comes in a kit like this, JB Weld. This is what they call the steel and the hardener. This is what I use primarily for things like this. If I have to fill in a large area, they sell a tube with the 2-part. It's got the steel in the center and the hardener on the outside. What you do is you cut a slice off, mix it together with your fingers, and put it into the spot you got to go. This is for large areas that I have to make a particular spot out of. I actually had one of the SCG 44s I got as a boneyard gun, had a big crack in it. So and it was missing a piece. So I hollow ground it and JB welded over the hollow ground spot, but the piece that was missing I made out of this. I put tape on the inside to get it flush, put this molded into the area a little lower than it should be, smoothed it off. Then I took the regular 2-part JB Weld, went over the top, able to sand it off, paint it. You can't even tell where the actual crack and the piece is missing from there. And it was a boneyard gun I got for a steel, works like a champ. So if you're using JB Weld, go to it. The 2-part or the single-part putty like this works phenomenal. Anything you got to put together, it's going to happen for you. You're going to have a good time with it. It's going to work. Hope you enjoyed the video, this fun little thing, and have a good day.
Set.
Set. Set.